5 minute, 5 minute, 5 minute, 5 minute.
5 minute Chit Chatz!
Meet my friend Julie. She loves God and she loves to organize. She is a professional organizer and co-founder of Before and After. Join us as we discuss how an organized life is a godly life. And for many of us, we love God and we want to live a life that's pleasing, but there may be things in our life and our home that are just out of order. So can you kind of unpack that statement, what is needed for kingdom?
Believe it or not, one day when I was having a quiet time, he said, I love to organize too. He was like, read any section about how I like my temple. He's really, really specific about how he likes things. And he's like, I made you like that. And it's okay to be like that. God loves order. I think what got me thinking about what's needed for kingdom is when my grandmother passed away, and my mom spent about a month in her house cleaning things out when she passed away. And it ended up, her things that she kept became such a burden to her future children. And I started thinking, I never want to do that to anyone in my family or my kids. And it got me thinking, what do we really need for godly living? What do we need to hang on to? Why do we hang on to the things we do? Are we hanging on to things just because to keep the memory of it? Or are we keeping our child's like kindergarten art project because they're going to look at it again when they're 17 or 25 or 35? I feel like the cost and, benefit of what it means to keep certain things, like what really sitting down and figuring out the rationale behind why we keep what we keep and what is important to keep, what things are important for us to hang on to for what we are going to need them for our calling, and for what we need to do for the kingdom, and what will end up being a burden and a clutter to our house and our lives, and end up being a burden to future generations. Sometimes things, that are going on internally, whether it's depression, anxiety, just feeling a lack of motivation, can then go to affect your daily life, which would be something like what your room looks like, what your living room looks like, what your office desk looks like. That no matter what comes first, they both can contribute to each other, probably more than we even realize that they do.
But can you just give us just a few very simple changes that a mom can just make right now that can help start her on that journey of, being more organized?
What do I really need to hang on to? What about my kids' things or my kids' thousands of papers that come home with them from school? Which ones are they going to really look at one day? What are the things that we really want to hang on to? Stuff can start being overwhelming to us and start controlling us more than we have control over it. And so I kind of assess that, every 6 months or so. And also not trying to take on an entire house at once. Maybe just start small. Say, okay, today I'm going to conquer Liam's closet. I'm going to do that one thing, and start small, because moms don't have a huge chunk of time. So, you're already busy enough and you're like, okay, now I've got to organize something. I don't have time to do that. But if you kind of start out with small goals and just be like, okay, today I'm going through that stack of papers. I'm doing it. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to listen to a sermon and go through a stack of papers. Going to turn on some worship music and I'm going to go through Liam's closet, and once you start to do that and see how good you feel afterwards, that you have the things that you need and no more than that, it actually starts to get addicting.
Thank you so much for watching. And please consider subscribing so that you can get notifications when new videos come out every Monday.